Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Today I have an amazing video for you. The topic is unknown features on iPhones that will make your life easier. By the way, I won't be introducing any third-party apps. I'll be talking about features that are built into iPhone and that most people don't know about. These common features will really make your life easier, and as you watch, you might find yourself wondering why you have been struggling all this time. Some of these features are truly simplifying. By the way, there will be timestamps for this video for you the skipping features you already know. If you are new to the channel, I am Erkut from Tech, and what we do on this channel is simply talk about tech without bullshit. I value your time and mine, so I don't intend to take both from us. So let's start with the first one. I want to begin with one of the features I use most frequently and love the most: creating shortcuts for phrases. For example, let's say you often need to type out your address, Instagram username, and similar information throughout the day. Most people type this out manually each time, but there's a much easier way. First, let's start with the address. I type address 1 and it instantly outputs Drake's address to show you. When you type address 1, the saved address appears directly, so you don't need to look it up or copy it each time. You can do this for any text. Here's how to set it up. Go to Settings, then General, select Keyboard, and then Text Replacement. There is no limit to how many shortcuts you can add. For instance, type P as your phrase and P as the shortcut. When you type P in the WhatsApp, it automatically pops up the phrase. This works across all platforms where the keyboard functions such as WhatsApp, iMessage, Facebook, and Instagram. Anywhere the keyboard is used. It's an incredibly handy and easy shortcut that many people don't know about. Now let's move on to the second shortcut. Sometimes when you are too lazy to type, we send a voice message. But what if the recipient is currently unavailable and can't listen to message? Simply press the microphone button on keyboard and it will convert everything you speak into text. For example, I am sick and won't be with you guys. Sorry. You can easily send this message without any errors. Even someone like me whose English isn't perfect can be accurately transcribed. So you don't have to send voice messages when you are feeling lazy. You can use this feature, which I use a lot, especially with my Apple Watch. When someone messages me on WhatsApp, I often reply with a voice message. Now let's talk about one of my other favorite features: copying text from photos or while taking a picture. For example, I have a book in my hand and hold it up to the camera. A text icon appears in the corner. When I tap it, it immediately detects and lets you select to copy the text. This doesn't work only with photos, but also with already saved images. For instance, if you need to copy a code, you can see the text in the image and select it. To enable this feature, go to Settings, then General, select Language and Region, and turn on the live text. When this is enabled, your camera can now recognize text. If you turn it off, the text recognition won't appear when copying. This feature works on existing photos as well. For example, if you need to copy a tracking number from a photo, it works seamlessly. Another feature I love is searching through our photo gallery. Sometimes finding a specific photo among many can be difficult, but there's an easy solution. iPhones or newer phones have AI that recognize what's in your photos. For example, if I search for cat, it lists all the photos with cats in them. Similarly, if I search for car, it shows all car-related photos. The search also scans metadata, so you can find photos taken in Amsterdam by searching Amsterdam or by months like April for photos taken in April. You can even search by season like winter and it lists all related photos. This feature can understand and scan nearly everything, which many people don't use. Another essential feature that many still don't know is blocking specific numbers directly from iOS. Many people download external apps to block numbers, but these apps can access your contacts. Instead, you can block numbers directly within iOS. For example, if you receive spam messages from a gambling site, you can block the number. To block a number, go to Message, swipe left, tap the bell icon with a line through it to hide the notifications. Or go to Contact Info and tap Block this caller. This way the number won't be able to reach you again, at least from my specific number. Another feature that many people don't use is the search function in Settings. Instead of navigating through settings manually, you can search directly for what you need. For example, if you want to adjust the take replacements, swipe down on any home screen and type take replacements in search bar to find it instantly. You can also quickly access features like low power mode by searching for battery and turning it on. This makes your usage much more efficient. One feature that's been around since the iPhone's early days is the undo feature. I wanted to specifically explain this feature because I know people often encounter this screen but don't understand why. If you accidentally delete something, you can shake the phone and bring up the undo option. This will undo your last action. For example, I deleted this section of my text. All I have to do is just shake up the phone and click undo. No, that is well. And here's a quick tip for calculator app. If you make a mistake while typing a number, you don't have to clear the entire entry. Simply swipe left or right on numbers to delete the last digit. This is a shortcut that you can save your time. Well, in iOS 18, there will be a delete option. I will put the photo around here. And now I'll talk about a feature I discovered quite late. For example, if you need to make an edit in some text and you are struggling to click precisely in the right spot or scrolling around, it's hard to see exactly what you are selecting. There's really an easy way to do this. Just press and hold the spacebar, and your keyboard turns into a trackpad. You can then move the cursor precisely where you need it, like positioning the cursor exactly between F and A. This is much easier than trying to select the spot manually with your finger. This feature works everywhere the keyboard is active and text is present. It's a great feature, and I really don't know how they come up with these ideas to include them. Now let's talk about something that really frustrates me. This applies to Android as well. People aren't taking full advantage of voice assistants. It seems like everyone is trying to do everything manually, but there's an intelligent system available that can do for you without lifting a finger. The easiest thing in the world for us is to talk, and you can almost get anything done by just speaking. And let me tell you, people talk to Siri as if they are talking to a bank operator, but you can speak it to like a normal person. For instance, you can say, "Hey Siri, wake me up at 6 a.m. tomorrow." And it sets the alarm for you. Or if you need direction, instead of opening Safari or Chrome and typing out the query, just say, "Hey Siri, take me to Frankfurt." And you'll get directions, just like that. You can also ask things like, "Hey Siri, what's the weather like?" Or if you have a bunch of alarms set and you want to turn all off, "Hey Siri, turn off all of my alarms." And it will do it for you. You can even ask, "Hey Siri, heads or tails?" And it will flip a virtual coin for you. There are so many features, and if you tried to list them all, it could take 10 years. It's incredibly powerful. So whenever you need something, just say it out loud and let it do the work for you. Another feature I really love is photo hiding. For example, if you have a photo with my cat that I want to hide from my gallery, I can do this so easily. When you press the share button, scroll down and you will see an option to hide. Once you click it, the photo will be hidden. It then goes into a hidden album at the bottom of your album section. This album can only be accessing through Face ID, making it a secure place for private photos. You might find this useful if you receive a photo from a friend that you prefer not to have visible in your gallery, if you know what I mean. After that, this feature is also quite impressive. In our daily lives, we often need to digitalize physical documents, such as text or images on paper. Traditionally, we would use a scanner or a printer with scanning capabilities. However, this is no longer necessary, thanks to some great external apps. You can simply use your camera to scan documents and convert them into a PDF or anything other format without needing a separate scanner. In Notes app, just press and hold to access the Scan Documents option. You can then quickly and easily scan your documents, almost like using a physical scanner. For example, I scanned my passport application using these features without any issues. As we near the end, I want to show you a handy trick. Let's talk about copying and pasting without usual methods. For example, if you tap on something and then use a 3-finger swipe to center, you'll see copy appear at the top. paste it, swipe 3 fingers apart in the opposite direction. This gesture is also useful with photos. I don't use it much for text, but I find it very handy for images. For instance, if I have a photo I want to copy, I use 3 finger swipe to copy it. When I open WhatsApp and use a 3 finger swipe apart, it pastes the photo directly and opens up the send option. While this method can speed things up for photo handling, for text, I often find clicking to copy and paste to be simpler. But for images, this trick can really save time. So that wraps up our list of features for this video. I've covered quite a few tips and tricks today, but I plan to create a series of videos because there are so many more amazing features to explore. I haven't covered everything in this first video. In future videos, I might also talk about some fantastic third-party apps that can make your life easier. If you have any iPhone features you love and use frequently that aren't widely known, feel free to mention them in comments below. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to click that like button and subscribe, because it really does help out the channel and makes people to see more from me. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys later. Also, don't forget to check these videos.